Welcome to the Faculty of Engineering and Technology. This is related to the BEng program, Chemical Engineering. So I would like to start with a simple question that in which world do we live now, and what are the main ingredients of this world? What do we need especially in this area with various level of industrial revolutions and industries and different sectors related to environment, energy, food, and water. So obviously, one thing that we had 5,000 ago and we don't have it now is environment, I would say, and especially with the developments in terms of industry and different aspects of industry. We have to be more clean in terms of the footprint of energy, especially related to the CO2 emission and global warming, different pollutions, air pollutions, as well as water pollutions. Obviously, we need to look into the aspects of energy. The population of the world has been increasing for the past decades, so definitely providing appropriate energy for different at different locations will be very important, as well as food and water. So the next generation of the chemical engineers, or in general engineering challenge, will be related to the water scarcity and how we can have drinkable or potable water available for everyone on the planet. So these are the challenges that we have these days. Basically, I categorize that in four categories, as you can see here: environment aspect, energy aspect, food, and water aspects. So basically, if you look at different resources that we have, basically we need to take all these energy, food, and water from the available resources on the earth. So we need to look into some natural resources. And the fact about natural resources is that we cannot use them directly. Some of them we can use directly, like wood and forest in terms of the heating, but most of them we cannot use it directly. For example, water, we have seawater, a lot of seawaters, but what we have now is that the seawater is not drinkable. You cannot drink that, so you need to do some sort of processing in order to make a valuable product out of seawater. The oil and gas that we have underground, and we have been exploiting that for many years now, use that. We have to convert those oil and gas in order to appropriate fuels for the cars and for the transportation, as well as if you want to convert that into a plastic and different applications of plastics, you need to do some sort of processing. Different rocks, different minerals, different resources like soils and animals for food and for different aspects for agriculture, all of them, they are common in one point, which is processing. So the main aspects of chemical engineering is related to processing. So how you are going to process all these natural resources to be more efficient for the applications for the human, as well as more usable products. So looking at different natural resources and the way that chemical engineers are looking at the natural resources in terms of providing the best and energy efficient processing in order to have useful products, the main aspects of chemical engineering is to do upscaling. So obviously on the picture on the left, you can see that definitely you can evaporate some water, seawater, and then condense the vapor so that you can get a pure 100% water, which is okay for drinking. However, you cannot do that benchtop, tabletop process in order to have appropriate water for the whole nation, for the whole city, for the whole country, and around the world, right? So what you need to upscale this process into the picture on your right, a desalination plant. So obviously, it's the upscaling is not just enlarging the containers and the mixers, but definitely a lot of processes will come to place in terms of storage, in terms of processing, in terms of products, in terms of health and safety, in terms of pollution, and so many other aspects. So chemical engineers, they are trying to have more energy efficient processes in terms of developing natural resources into usable products for the human. So this is the basic understanding of chemical engineers. And as we move forward with different aspects of energy, we see that we need more and more chemical engineers with the development in the petrochemicals, downstreams, water, environment, and different sectors. I summarized a little bit more detail here. On top left, you see a desalination plant, different valves, pipelines, storage, vessels are involved. On the left-hand side in the middle, you will see a plastic factory. So basically, all these natural resources, like the oil resources, they would convert to different polymers, and those polymers are the origin of different plastics that we use today. Obviously, recycling is also one challenge that chemical engineers can help a lot in terms of understanding how we can recycle plastics and those non-renewable resources. Obviously, chemical engineers are very much dealing with the pollution and the environmental impact of different processes in terms of the global warming, CO2 emissions, CO2 capture, storage, and related studies. Looking at different detergents that we use, different chemicals that we use every day, looking at different aspects of the food industry. Food industry is very heavy, and it's making a lot of sense to have chemical engineers involved with that, because a lot of heat and energy and mass is going to be transferred. A lot of reactions are happening. So food industry is one of the places that chemical engineers can work with. In the center, I have a photo of a wind turbine and a solar panel. Chemical engineers are dealing with the engineering aspect and engineering supply and demand around the world, dealing with different aspects of energy conversion, energy efficiency, and different resources, how we can exploit different resources for energy capture and energy storage as well. And obviously, especially related to the region that we are living now, Oman, Middle East, we are dealing with a lot of oil and gas operations. One of the challenges that I usually mention to my student is that what we do in Oman is that we are producing oil and gas, and as a crude, as a raw material, we are selling this outside the country, and then we are importing a lot of products like plastics and the detergents. Why we don't have enough downstream industry here? Who is in charge of developing the downstream and petrochemical industry here in the country? Obviously, chemical engineers are the main driver for this force. And we have seen a lot of movement in terms of plastic industry, in terms of different aspects of petrochemicals, in order to avoid the raw material and the natural resources to go out and then to be imported at a price of 3 times, 4 times more. So not only the benefit is related to the economic aspect, it is also related to the job market, to the professional environment, and to the development of the new industries and the new state-of-the-art energy efficient processes. What we do at Masqat University in order to equip you with the tool sets, the hard tool sets, the technical background, as well as the interpersonal skills that you need to be a decent chemical engineer, is related to this. So obviously you will start with a foundation program in chemical engineering. Not only you learn how to use different aspects of mathematics, computers, English aspects, and academic English, you will get to know 2 state-of-the-art programs or modules before you enter to your bachelor degree, which are the Physical Science 1 and Physical Science 2. In these 2 courses, we familiarize yourself with different aspects of laboratory, health and safety, and some sort of a background for your chemical engineering. So these are all before you start your chem, and so that you understand what is chemical engineering about, and you are ready to take the rigor of the curriculum in the chemical engineering. I would just like to highlight here that our foundation program is an international foundation program with agreement with different universities that you can see on the right. And our foundation program is a stream toward different aspects of undergraduate degrees that we have. And I discussed about the stream related to the chemical engineering. The program that we have in the department, and I'm more focusing on the undergraduate BEng Chemical Engineering, we are having good partners and also reputable accreditation around the programs. Institute of Chemical Engineers, Institute of Mechanical Energy Engineering, Energy Institute, and Aston University are partners for us for this program. So you will get exposed to different aspects of health and safety, different aspects of technical challenges, and the recent challenges in the chemical engineering discipline. And of course, we provide also some sort of short courses and CPDs, which are also available for our students. Talking about our partners, Aston University is based in Birmingham in UK. Just to note a few things, Aston is ranked as top 10 students in terms of employability. So industry is thinking, especially international industry and UK industry, they are keen to hire the graduates from Aston University because they know the details of the program and how project-based are the modules. So that's why we established this long-term partnership with Aston University in order to make sure that all this academic rigor is also coming to Muscat to be provided to our students at undergraduate level. These are just a few highlights of the hirings these days in Oman and also in the region. As you can see, a lot of jobs are now advertised at PDO, OQ, different companies, plastic companies, KBR, and different companies, they are hiring process engineers and chemical engineers. So in terms of the job aspect, I think you will be in a good shape once you are graduated with the vast knowledge and experience that you receive at Muscat University. Talking about the details of the years, what exactly you will be taking during the 4 years study of BEng Chemical Engineering at Muscat University. Obviously, year one, we are focusing more on science and fundamentals. So this will be enhanced by site visits and industrial lectures. We have a very good connection with industry, and we are going to have a number of industrial guest lectures into our classrooms every day. In year two, you will be taking heavy core modules in terms of chemical engineering. Basically, all the calculations and the technical aspects of chemical engineering is coming to year two, plus also some in year four, and you will be working on case studies and some industrial course projects. For the whole year three, for the whole academic year, you will be in industry. And as I mentioned, we have a very good partners like PDO, Oman Oil, Sohar Port, Orpik, OQ, Oman LNG, and also some industries in Salalah, in order to make sure that you have enough experience at industry. You will be in industry working on industrial projects for one full academic year, which is 9 months. And you will get exposed to different aspects of the soft skills at work, interpersonal skills, and obviously we are here to supervise you to make sure that you can link your understanding from industry to your knowledge at the university, so you can make the connection. Obviously, once you have been involved in few projects at industry, for year four, you will be coming back to campus and try to implement that through some advanced modules as well as your final year project. So the engagement with industry is the main part for your year three and year four. And looking forward to having a good background when you graduate to go back to the industry. Our study plan is very much unique in a sense. I recall a phrase by Elon Musk, the man who is behind Tesla and SpaceX. They recently launched a Space Dragon to the International Space Station. There are two aspects here. One is, imagine that we want to teach some sort of a candidate or a student how to use a screwdriver to open an engine. So in a conventional way, what you need to do, you need to be going to a class, and in that class will teach you how to use screwdrivers. And then in the next year, you will go to a class how to open up an engine. So this sort of traditional learning curve is not working these days. And at Muscat University, we developed a new model. We call it PBL, or problem-based or project-based learning. So obviously, instead of teaching you the screwdriver, we are going to giving you a project how to open an engine. And then while you're studying that engine, you will realize that I need some tool called the screwdriver. So the need of the details and the tool sets that you want is coming out of the projects that you have been given. In that case, for the new problems, this is called problem solving skills. For the new problems, you understand how to develop new tools. But with the conventional one, you only know a screwdriver and you know how to use a screwdriver. These are not coming from the needs. So as an example, as you can see, in year one, even before going to the details of the energy conservation and mass conservation, mass balance, all those detailed calculations, we will give you a project to design a new chemical process plant. And in that process, you will see what you need in order to make a successful design in terms of health and safety, in terms of technical aspects, in terms of different aspects, environment, location, business case. And once you realize that what are the challenges associated with this, in year two, you're going to have a much bigger detailed process design. And then you will use your process design expertise in industry in year three. And then you come back with the minimal supervision from your supervisors. You will do the design 100% on your own. So this we call a problem-based teaching. So basically we introduce you to a bigger problem. What problems? Exactly those problems from industry. And then we will teach you over the course of 3-4 years how you can solve those problems and what sort of tool sets are available for you, or you need to design and reform the tool sets in order to make sure that you are designing a more efficient process plant. So this is basically the unique aspect of the curriculum that we have at Masqat University, problem or project-based learning. Going through some details, in year one, you will be taking some of the modules. As you can see, the module called Process and Product Design. In this module, you will learn how to develop a plant from the beginning, a chemical process plant. In year two, you will continue that. In year three, as I mentioned, you will be doing some placement in real industry. So you will be an employee of that employer or a company. So, and you will be managed by your line manager at industry, of course, with some sort of academic supervision from the university. And in year one, obviously, you will define some of the electives that you want to take, as well as the final project. So in order to make sure that you have the best experience at Masqat University, we have developed 5 different state-of-the-art labs. One we called on the top left Innovation Lab, where you have full sets of tools and ideas and the workshop to help you in order to develop your idea. And you will be using this lab for year one all the way to year 4. We have also a dedicated chemistry lab with different chemicals and different equipments. We know that analytical and research lab is also very important. Once you are dealing with different chemicals, you have to understand what chemicals you have. If you have a water sample, you need to understand what ions are there in the water and what concentration, in order to make sure that you are designing the best desalination process. Process engineering lab, we have a lot of pilot scale or laboratory scale equipment, and those are a mini size of the actual process, like the distillation, the control unit, and the reaction laboratory. Obviously, we have a very good simulation lab where our students can work with different state-of-the-art programs like Aspen, like the fluid flow simulation, as well as different aspects of engineering like AutoCAD, Excel, and different aspects and different programs related to the engineering calculation. We have a team of experts at Masqat University in order to support you in different aspects. We have expertise from oil and gas upstream, all the way to oil and gas midstream and downstream, as well as petrochemical industry, in line with the renewable energy expertise that we have in the department. With this, I would like to thank you very much for being in this session, and I'm more than happy to take any of the questions you may have related to the Bachelor BEng of Chemical Engineering at Masqat University. Thank you.